J-Man's question is, how do I convince senior execs that when to scale, that it may not be the answer? I would rewind all the way back to the start of the stream, which you were not here for, but that's okay. I would bring it back to the minimum viable everything approach that I take. And with that, there are two key things that I try and answer. And if I can answer these solidly, then I know it's the right thing to do. Question one is, what problem are we trying to solve that we have right now? Oftentimes, we're trying to solve problems that don't exist. We're trying to pretend that we know what's going to happen. That doesn't mean we're never going to solve that problem, but right now isn't the right time to attack that problem. So if those execs can explain to you, this is the problem we're addressing by scaling up. If they can clearly articulate a business reason why it's important, then that's step one. Okay, that should provide you with the information, because usually what happens is when you get in situations like this where somebody wants to do something and another person doesn't understand why, 99% of the time it's because somebody has a piece of information that the other one doesn't. So you need to seek to fill in those gaps and educate each other on the why, the business value of what you're trying to do. So I'm hopeful that the senior execs will say, sure, J-Man, come in, let's talk. I'd be happy to explain why this is so important. They sit down, they get on a whiteboard, they pull out some spreadsheets about this is why we believe this makes sense. If we do this, this happens. We all make money, we retire. And you're like, yeah, that's awesome. We should go do that. So that's step one. Step two then is the minimum viable approach. What's the least amount of change we can introduce to help us solve that problem? So I'm assuming that they'll be able to sit down and explain the problem they're solving and how they believe scaling will solve that problem. Then it's about what's the least amount that you can invest to make that change happen. Think of it like a product. What's the least amount of work we can do to solve that problem for that customer to deliver the value? Take that approach.